Hey guys! Welcome back to our channel.
We're back!
Bet you thought you'd seen The Last of Us.
And better than ever.
What is this?
You were...
Listen. Anyway, we're back.
It's a fun time. Sorry.
It's been a while. We're still alive.
Yes.
Even though
No,
2016 was a scary year,
Very
we survived. And now we're here, on the opposite side of the country.
Yeah,
But we're in the
LA,
same
baby.
place again.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We're together.
We're in the same place, so we can make
Again.
videos once again. Somebody had to go, I'm not gonna name names, but someone had to go to Florida for a little bit.
You're never gonna let me live
and
that down.
work in Disney World, but it's fine, because that person's back now.
Gotta work for the big mouse at least once.
Anyway, so we're back, and we're ready to get
Better
back
than
into
ever.
our, YouTube channel and our reviews.
It's gonna be a great time.
So the first film that
We're reviewing for
we're
the year.
reviewing for the year is...
No spoilers. This
Yes.
is a spoiler-free video. We will keep that mystery shrouded for you so that
Yes.
you go in and experience it for what it is.
Yes, it's definitely one of those movies that the less you know about what the plot
The
is,
better.
the better experience it is and what happens in it. So we're gonna keep spoilers to spoiler free and details to like a minimum. We're just gonna talk about general things that we liked about the movie. And yeah, so
gonna be a great
it's gonna
time.
be a fun time.
So we're gonna do our pros and our cons like our last few videos. So we'll tell you what we really liked about it and what we really didn't like about it.
Yeah.
And then we'll also tell you our percentage of like 0 to 100 of like
overall how we
thoughts.
felt the movie was. At the end of the year we might do like a video where we go through our top
Yes.
ranking movies of the year that we saw, based on the scores that we give the films.
Yeah.
In
So
that
we
part
might
of the
like
video.
rank them. So depending on what score we give this one, it could be first, it could be last.
It could be somewhere in the middle. It might
You
not
know,
even make the list.
I hope it's last because I hope this year is a great year for film.
And a great year for our channel.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so now we're going to do our pros.
Pros.
So these are things that we really liked about the movie, the things that
Yes.
stood out to us most that
The best of the best.
we really liked.
Okay, pro number 1 is gonna be the sound, like the mixing was amazing, but also the soundtrack. Because this is a Lego film. If you saw the first Lego movie, you kind of know what I mean by the sound mixing. Everything has a hint of the plastic, because they're all Legos, so like every little bit you can feel you're in a world of Legos, which is really hard to do. And like all of the mixing is done super masterfully, super tasteful. It's really well done. And that's just something that you don't notice it until it's like, you notice it when it's bad more than you notice it when it's good, but like, I love audio. So that's the thing I'm going to comment on, was that you don't notice it because it's that good. Nothing feels out of place. Everything seems like it fits in this world. On top of that, with the soundtrack, everything, it's like, some of it's kind of cliche, but it's a cliche that works, and it's redoing that cliche, and it's really, the music is all amazing music, and they just used it really well in the film.
Yeah, and you'll be humming it for
At least 48 hours.
48 hours. We still have the music stuck in our head.
Yeah, it's in my head right now, actually. It's kind
Just
of
continually
distracting.
singing the music from this movie.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Just laying down some dope tracks here and didn't see you there.
But yeah, and like the music is used in a way that is like not as predictable as you would think, and the choices
really cool.
of the music themselves.
You just like
it's-
wouldn't expect it.
You
It's a
wouldn't
good time.
expect these songs to be what they chose for a Batman movie, but
Yeah.
here we are. All right, pro number 2. So, the second pro is the animation in this movie in terms of like the quality of the animation and the style of the animation. This was something that impressed us both about the first Lego movie, the way that they
really
kind of
cool.
mimic stop motion, but it's still 3D
Yeah,
animation.
I honestly thought the first one was stop motion, and it was like, nope, it's animated, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow.
They
that's
take what they
impressive.
did with the animation in the Lego movie and they improve
Elevate
upon
it.
it in this movie. It's amazing. And not only just the animation, but the composite, which if you don't work in animation like we do, if you don't know what composite is, it's basically the layers of like atmosphere, like, you know, like the little specks of dust are in the air, the lighting,
lighting is
basically
so
the
cool.
visual like atmosphere and environment that goes on top of the animation after it's done is
To
like
make it feel more real.
to make it
and
feel more gritty and real.
the diet, like the
And like, you know, yeah, exactly.
Dimensions of the film.
Dimensions. And it's absolutely
it's really cool.
incredible in this movie.
Like, the big example is of, like, I love the lighting used in... It's even in the trailer. Like, they put it in the trailer. Him putting it in the microwave, there's a lighting scene that's, like, beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's, like, those little things that we would, like, actually have in a real live-action film that they took the time to
and the
add
colors are just so vibrant and
fun
beautiful.
And good.
It's really, really impressive. And, like, you would think that, like, Legos are kind of, like... They're not
For
pretty,
kids,
but they make them look pretty, which is an impressive feat. So, good job to the animators over at Warner Animation. You did a great job.
Our number 3.
I can count.
Number
3.
3.
That's what we're on.
Yeah, we're on 3.
Nailed it.
And that would be the comedy of this comedy. Of course, you got to talk about the comedy. So they set it up really well in the Lego Movie. What personality of Batman he is, which is pretty much a parody.
Yeah.
Of all of Batman.
Of all of the Batmans from, the
Everything.
last, whatever, 60, 70
Aged
years.
so well.
Yeah.
They
He's
even
all
joke
of
about
them,
it.
but he's a joking version of all of them.
And the comedy in this film is just so high level. Like, you don't expect it to be, like, a thinker, but it is. There's jokes that you don't get until you go, wait a minute. Oh.
There was this one joke, we won't spoil it for you, obviously, but we left the theater and we were driving home, and then we were like, oh
Wait a
my
minute.
god, I just got this, and that's
it.
hilarious.
And so, like, it was, like, there's so many levels to it, and there's, like, really easy jokes, and they reference so many different things, but it's so well thought out and well written, and so fast paced that you're laughing the entire time.
Yeah,
It's an almost 2-hour film, and we were nonstop laughing.
I said to Jocelyn after the movie ended, I was like, I don't think I stopped laughing that entire film. For our 4th. So basically, the 4th thing is not something I expected this movie to have going into it. I thought it was just going to be a comedy, but this movie has a lot of heart. And you actually, if you know who the Lego Batman character is from the first Lego movie, you're like, how are you going to give him, like, an emotional arc?
Yeah, like,
he's such a ridiculous character. But they managed to do it in this movie, and the action manages to slow down, to have some of these more tender, cute moments, and it's just enough.
That it's, like, believable, but it's
believable
also not,
within
like,
this ridiculous comedy world they've set.
So much heart.
And it makes
it's a good time.
the movie better. And then when the movie ends, you're satisfied because of, like, the emotional arc that it's basically been.
It was a good time.
Again, don't want to spoil it, but it's really cute.
It's wholesome. It's like the best word for that. Like, it's like you just feel better leaving that film.
Absolutely.
And we need more of these types of films where you go in, you enjoy yourself, and you get to leave happy and energetic and ready to take on the world.
we were like super jazzed leaving this theater. We had some adrenaline.
It
we
was
were like,
so great.
It's great.
We this was after like a 7-hour work day.
Yeah,
and
we
then
went straight from work,
a
sat
2-hour
in
film,
Los Angeles traffic for an hour to get to the theater,
and
couldn't find parking to get in.
We were exhausted sitting down, and that film, we were like, yeah,
and
let's
then
go
we left the
take
theater, and it was like all of that was
great.
over.
It was so
truly
great.
incredible.
We'll probably move on to our con because
it's a single con. Normally we
con.
have more, but this movie was pretty good. We couldn't think of a lot of things.
We thought long
that we
and
didn't
hard
like.
about what we didn't like about this film.
We came up with one thing, and it's not
even
even a
something
con
we don't like
for us, but it might be a con for the average
general
viewer.
Which doesn't even consider you guys, because you guys are fandom. We
If
know
you're
what
here,
you like,
yeah.
like, we very much are about, like, the fandom world, so if you watch our videos, you probably also really like fandom things.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our con that doesn't actually even relate to you.
It's just important, I think, to point out that this has a lot of in-jokes. A lot of references.
So many references.
Obviously, especially to Batman. If you don't know a lot about Batman and his incarnations over the past, 60, 70 years,
There's
you're
a
gonna
lot
miss
about
some
that.
jokes.
I've seen you go through similar phases in 2016 and 2012 and 2008 and 2005 and 1997 and 1995 and 1992 and 1989 and that weird one in 1966.
I have aged phenomenally.
You're not
But
gonna
the
understand
thing
some
is,
things.
their jokes about Batman range from, like, The Dark Knight to the 60s show to extremely obscure references that even most fans wouldn't
There's comic
know.
references, if you've never read a Batman comic or know
probably
much
wouldn't
about
know
them,
them.
there are certain jokes you'll miss there. So it's definitely, there's a lot of in-jokes
But
that are Batman fans.
It doesn't those little one-off jokes aren't important to the plot.
Yeah, it
so
won't
it doesn't
take
take
away.
away from your overall
But you
viewing
might feel
enjoyment.
like you're missing something every once in a while. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, why are other people laughing and I'm not getting it? That might happen.
probably that.
There's also a bunch of references to other,
Warner Brother
fandom
properties.
properties that aren't Batman.
So many things.
So even if you think you know a lot about Batman, there are other jokes from other kind of nerdy things.
That's the other thing.
If you're a nerd, you'll get most of them.
Like,
probably.
in the Lego movie itself, there was a lot of these, like, references to other things, too.
Including, but not limited to, Robin Hood, Mermaid Lady, Gandalf, Swamp Creature, 1980-something Space Guy, 2002 NBA All-Stars, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But, like...
There's even more in this one, I would think, which is strange. You
It
wouldn't
takes
expect
that moment and jumps off from it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you've seen the Lego movie, you kind of have a better place to, like, prepare yourself for this
in terms
film.
of, like, what kind of references there are going to be
but
to other
it's
properties.
still, like,
but it's even more,
you
I would say.
honestly, we couldn't have even expected all of these references.
We were just sitting there
It
looking at
was
each other
like-
like, did they just do that? Like, did they just bring that
they
into
did
this?
just do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Again, not going to spoil it, but basically the big thing to take away from this con is that if you're a general moviegoer and you don't know a lot about nerdy comic book fandom, you know,
any of like the big franchisey thing that's happening.
if you don't
in a few
know,
years,
you're going to miss a few references. It shouldn't take away from your overall experience of the movie or your kids' experience of the movie.
Yeah,
if you're bringing
it's
a kid.
fun, colorful, and
They'll still have
it's
fun.
It's a great time, even if you don't know.
But
a lot
you
of
will
fans.
appreciate it more if you're a nerd like us.
Yeah.
Is basically the point.
You will extremely appreciate it if you're a nerd like us.
Yeah.
So we should probably move on to our overall viewing score.
All right. So
A better
basically,
name for that.
like we mentioned before, yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna call it overall ratings.
That sounds a lot better.
Nailed it. So basically, like we mentioned before, this is going to be a score on a scale of 1 to 100, and it's just like out of 100, if we had to come up with a number, what we rate this movie. So do you want to go first?
I'll go first. Okay, so I originally was going to give it a slightly lower score, but there was one aspect of this film that you probably can figure out why I really liked it if you know what my shirt is.
I don't know.
She was great in this film, and that's all that matters. She doesn't matter in any other franchise, just this one.
Yeah, I don't know what other movie you could be talking about.
So she gets, because
What?
of her, we get a 96%. Because it was a really, really good film, and every aspect of it was actually really good, but I loved the portrayal of Harley and the Joker in this film.
That's
Like,
definitely, like,
The villains
Joker
were really good.
is portrayed in an interesting way. It's not what you would expect and what we have seen in past Jokers.
It's not
because
Heath
again,
Ledger.
he's very much like the Batman character in terms of that he's a parody of a bunch of different Jokers.
Yeah. So it's a really good time, and
Yeah.
they do really good things.
What they do with
With-
him is not at all what
What
you'd
you'd
expect.
expect.
And
I-
that's good.
Other than, like, the trailers do help you understand where he is, but, like, it's so much more than what they show you.
Which is a
It's
side
really great.
tangent, but it is very
It's a good
well
time.
done.
So, yeah, 96%.
I'm going to give it very similar, so I'm going to go 95. Mostly the 5 points detracted because it's not an emotional roller coaster masterpiece.
You also don't want to, like, start off the year at 100%.
Yeah, I can't give it at 100%. We don't know
can
what the rest
only
of the year has
It can
in
only
store.
get better. We don't
Star
want...
Wars comes out in December. I need to hold back.
Guardians comes out.
Yeah.
So many things are coming out.
But aside from that, I think that this is just a fun movie, but it's not gonna like change your life in terms of like an emotional
it's
emotional
also not
feeling.
an entirely, like, it's not going to change the world of film as we know it.
No, there is some interesting new things they've done in here, but it's not groundbreaking.
Yeah, so
it's
a
very
really
similar
fun,
to the
enjoyable
Lego movie.
Yeah.
That I would say was more groundbreaking than this one. This one takes what they did in the Lego movie and
makes
improves
it
on
better.
it, but we've seen some of it before.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It's a sequel.
It's a good time, it's a fun time, and
Yeah.
that's what matters.
So my score is going to be 95. So thanks for watching our video.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
We
It's a fun
promise
time.
we'll upload our
lot
next
more
review
frequently.
way more frequently now that we're in the same city again. Yeah, if you want to follow us, there's a subscribe button up here. You can subscribe and see when we post new videos. Over here, we're going to put a link to our social media. You can follow us there and hear in advance what kind of videos that we're going to be uploading and when
You
we're
can
going to
also
upload
tweet
them.
at us and, like, talk to
Yeah.
us. We're really fun people.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know,
We'll always respond because we have no life. But we also want to hear your thoughts and opinions on what you want us to do with this channel, because we like doing our reviews, but we also want to do more and, like, be more active. So if there's anything you want us to do,
Yeah, what
let
do you
us
want us to
know.
review? Is there an older movie that maybe we haven't seen that you want us to review? Or maybe it's something we have seen but you just want to hear our opinions about it?
If you just want to get to know us a little bit more, we'll
Yeah.
be glad to do that too.
shout either on Twitter, you can tweet at us, or you can comment in the YouTube comment section, and we will see it.
YouTube.
Yeah, and then on the bottom here, we will put links to our individual channels if you want to see some of our vlogs, see what we do when we're not doing reviews. You can check that out.
Things. Yeah. Do a lot of traveling.
We do a lot of travel vlogs if you're into that.
Yeah.
It's fun time. Yeah, so see you guys soon. Thanks for stopping by.
Toodles.
Wow.
What?
Toodles.
Yeah.
Unfreaking believable. The man in the mirror. Ooh, yeah. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make a world a better place, you gotta look at yourself and make a change. Woo!